See here, everyone. So, in the last class, we have completed up to duties of the bailor. Of the bailor. To be very precise about this particular concept, we started with the area called as concept of bailment. Bailment contract has some essentials. First, it is a contract, so minimum two persons are required. There must be goods. Those goods must be movable. Okay. There is a transfer of possession of the good from one person to another on a particular purpose. Once the purpose is accomplished, goods must be returned either in a original form or in a altered form. This is what we saw as various essential conditions in order to have a contract of bailment. A contract of what? Bailment. Now let us understand the point. We completed up to the duties of bailor. Bailor is always the transferor of the goods. Bailee is always the transferee of the goods. Okay? Sometimes bailor will bail the goods for his purpose. Sometimes bailor will bail the goods for the other purpose, other person's benefit. See, bailment la, bailor can do two things. He can either transfer for safe custody. He can either transfer for higher purposes. Higher means rental purposes. When it is giving chapel in a stand, there what is the purpose? The purpose is to put my goods in safe custody with the bailee. But when it comes to goods given on hire, okay, goods given on hire on a rent, such Shamian asset, etc., those are given on rent. Now it is given for the benefit of the bailee. Therefore, always don't think that transferor is having a benefit or transfer is having a benefit. Mainly the goods benefit can be taken by either by bailor or by the bailee, depending on the circumstances. Okay. So next, duties of bailee. Of bailee. So in this area, there are 5 very important duties of a bailee. Who is a bailor? Transferor of the goods. Who is a bailee? Transferee of the goods. Recipient or giver, recipient of the goods. So we are going to discuss the entire concept from the point of view of bailee now. What is this? Recipient of the goods. Let us understand one by one. First, point number 1. Take reasonable care of the goods. Take reasonable care of the goods. Sir, I did not understand. Care means understood, sir. What will you call reasonable care? Clear? For example, I have a mic set. Okay. Through which I will talk. This is really very costly for me. This is around 52,000 rupees. Okay. I keep it in a safe custody. What do you mean by safe custody? I will keep it on a table, not somewhere else in the room corner. I will safely put it on a table. I will cover it when I am not in usage. Okay. Listen to the example clearly. Okay. Listen to the example. I purchased a mic. Okay. For 52,000. After purchasing it, what care I will take? I will use it properly. I will not throw it away. I will put it on my table where I am using now. I will clean it. If it is dusted, I will definitely de-dust it with the brush. I will take reasonable care. When I think that I will not be for more than 20 days or 25 days in my place, in my home, I will take it. I will put it in the drawer safely. This is the care I will take if this mic belongs to me. Point number 1. Now listen to the story. Now, mic, whatever this example I shown you, this is what the care I will take. Now let us take a reverse example. You are my friend. You gave me this mic. I already have a mic. You gave a mic like this. And you said, I will not be coming to the studio for next 20 days. Please keep this in your safe custody, I said. Your friend said to me, or you said to me. Now, what do you mean by care that I should take? If it is your mic, what kind of care you might have taken? Same care if you take. That's called as a reasonable care. The word reasonable is also defined in the act. So it is not about taking care of the goods, taking reasonable care of the goods. What do you mean by reasonable care? Reasonable care means if at all these goods belongs to you, if at all these goods belong to you, what you would have done, sir? If this mic belongs to me, what I will put it in a Godrej locker. That does not mean I will put it in a gold locker. I will take care means when this is not in use, I will put it in a drawer. When I will be using, I will put it on a table. Usage is completed. I will not just throw it like a piece of paper. I will take reasonable care. That's called as a reasonable care here. When bailor bails goods to the bailee, bailee should not take care. Bailee should take care as if the goods belongs to him. If really it is his good, what care he might have taken, such care if you take, I call it as a reasonable care. That's the words here. Understood the point clearly? So bailey should take care, reasonable care of the goods bailed. Reasonable care means normal common sense person. Common sense is a general English term. Lawmaker can't use that now. You have common sense, you don't have common sense. Lawmaker can't use. That's why they use a more sophisticated and simplified and polished way of telling the same. Array, do you have a common sense or not? Like that we will tell. Na? Lawmaker don't use such words. Na? Therefore, they will use a word, a man of ordinary prudence. Prudence means basic anticipation. Okay. So a man of ordinary prudence means ordinary means common. Prudence means a sense of understanding something. A man having a common sense. Okay. So therefore we have to use that or not. So what lawmaker said, whenever goods are bailed with you, you should take care of those goods. How much care I should take? As if the goods, if they belong to you, as a man of ordinary prudence, having common sense, what care you might have taken, same care you should take. So, in all cases of bailment, when I say in all cases, whether gratuitous or non gratuitous, that's the meaning. The bailee is bound, means having a legal obligation to take as much care of goods bailed to him as a man of ordinary prudence under similar circumstances take care of his own goods. If you don't write any of these words in exam, they don't give you the marks. So here the most important is in all the cases of bailment, bailee is bound to take as much care as a man of ordinary prudence. A man of ordinary prudence take care of his own goods. That's why I said, if it is your own goods, what care you might have taken, that care if you take, I call it as a reasonable care. The point completed. Now reply from all the students who are appearing live, understood or not? Are you all comfortable up to here? Yeah. Now 1 minute time completed. We'll go to the next one. Okay. Now, who should take reasonable care? Bailey should take reasonable care. But there is an exception to that. Okay. Means Bailey will not be responsible even though he could not take a care. In what cases? See, Bailey is there. Listen carefully. Bail or Bailey, two persons are there. Bail or and Bailey, two persons are there. Bail, I will give example in writing form. A, B. A gave 500 grams of gold jewelry to B to keep it in a safe locker. Keep it in a safe locker. Two situations. B, kept it home instead of putting it in the locker. Kept in a bank locker. Second case. C, A gave 500 grams of gold to B, gold jewelry to B. Said that fellow, please keep it in the safe locker. I will be leaving the city for 20 days. It's not safe to keep like that at my home. You please keep it in a locker. I will pay you good amount, he said. B said, oh, okay, you go. I will take care of your gold. What B thought, okay, we can deposit that in 2 days or 3 days. Anyway, he will not be returning from 20 days. Like any other average Indian, he neglected the situation. One day after, theft happened at the home of B. Okay. This gold also they took away. Clear? Next, second situation. Theft happened in the bank where I kept as a deposit. I deposited my gold in a gold locker or not. Bank, there is a theft they have taken. In the first case, reasonable care itself is not taken. Bailey will become responsible. In the second case, I have taken reasonable care. Means what? If it is my gold, what I would have done? Open a bank locker. Are you also did the same or not? Yes. If thieves come to the bank and loot the bank, for that, how come I will become responsible? Therefore, in this case, Bailey will not be responsible. Everyone understood the point clearly? This is what he wanted to tell here. The Bailey, in the absence of any special contract, is not responsible. Is not responsible for what? For the loss, destruction, or deterioration of the thing bailed if he has taken reasonable care as required in 151. So even after taking a reasonable care, still that particular asset is affected or it is under deterioration stage. Understood the point clearly? So this is the concept we wanted to tell as an exception. Hopefully everyone understood clearly. Take a minute time, read also this point. Read everyone. Waited everyone. Enough time. Everyone in live. Done with the concept. Yeah. So let us continue. See here. Next one. Not to make inconsistent use of goods. Not to make inconsistent use of goods. Okay, see here, I will give an example. You are going from Chennai to Coimbatore. You need a cab. Need a self-driving cab. Here, self-driving cab you need. I am a cab owner. I am running a cab renting service. You came to me and asked, sir, I wanted a car for self-driving purposes from Chennai to Coimbatore. I said, when? He said, sir, tomorrow morning I will start. Okay. Kilometers I saw 500 kilometers going, 500 kilometers coming back. Maybe a journey in that around another 100, 150 kilometers. So totally for 1200 estimated kilometers, I gave a bill to you. Okay, I gave a bill to you. I said, sir, 12,000 kilometers, sorry, 1200 kilometers into, say, for example, 20 rupees per each kilometer. So 24,000 rupees you need to pay. This is what I said. You said, very good, 24,000 I will pay. Take advance 5,000 I paid. Very good. Up to here, everything is okay. I gave you the car. I am the bailer. You are the passenger. Being the bailee, you are also using it for self-driving. Okay. Now tell me, for what purposes I given you the car? For your self-driving. Yeah. Now what you did? Now you are using the car not for the purposes of going from Chennai to Coimbatore, which I thought that you will be using. What you have done is you gave this car for car racing purposes to some other person. How did you understand? Means, tell me, the purpose for which you have taken from me and the purpose for which you are actually utilizing, both are consistent or inconsistent. That's what he wanted to tell. Not to make inconsistent use of goods. You said for a travel between Chennai Coimbatore, not for putting it for racing. If it is for racing, I wouldn't have given you. Therefore, he used it for racing. During the racing, one car, another car hit, this car was completely damaged. Whatever the damage cost is incurred to that particular vehicle, being a car, will be reimbursed from the person who have made inconsistent use of goods. Simply to tell, in this case, you are liable to pay the compensation to the car owner there. That's the point clearly. Yeah. Simply, if the car is rendered with some repairs costing 80,000, you have to pay me 80,000 because you made inconsistent use of goods. That's why. If the bailee makes any use of the goods paid, which is not according to the terms and conditions of bailment, just now we saw the terms and conditions, he is liable to compensate the bailer for any loss or destruction. Read example. First read this, then read example number 14 and example number 15. Repeated everyone. Who's in live? Please give a reply. If you wanted to take time to read, you can take, no problem. But read properly. Read it. Can I go to the next one? Next one. Next concept is not to mix the goods. Sir, what do you mean by not to mix the goods? See here. See, let us read first. If the bailee mixes the goods bailed with his own goods, with the consent of the bailer, both the parties shall have an interest in the proportion of their respective shares in the mixture thus produced. Let us first read. If the bailee, without consent of the bailer, mixes the goods bailed with his own goods, and the goods can be separated or divided, the property in the goods remains in the parties respectively. But the bailee is bound to bear the expense of separation or division and any damage arising from the mixture. Okay? Take time. So read properly. Exam questions, all these are. Read the point clearly. Read. Have you read? Everyone, have you read? So these are all complicated areas. That's why I'm spending time, point on point, 2 minutes time I'm giving for you to read. Every point, whatever you're reading now, came in exam already. Shall we continue? See here. I gave you around 3-4 minutes time for you to read. See, whenever bailor gives goods to the bailee, one of the duty of the bailee is not to mix those goods with your goods. Okay? Not to mix those goods with your goods. Sorry, sir, both goods should not be mixed, no, sir. But I mixed it with the consent of the bailor. With the consent of the bailor. Then, whenever you utilizes the product with the consent of the bailor, then no problem. What he said, both the parties shall have interest, means right, in the proportion of their respective shares in the mixture thus produced. See, I will give you an example. Please see here. Okay, please see here. What will happen? Let us see the concept clearly. There is a person called as A and there is a person called as B. Okay, a person called as A and there is another person called as B. Okay, now listen carefully to the point. A gave him 20% fat, 20% fat containing raw milk, not packet, canned, normal tin. Okay, raw milk like he kept it. He gave to B. 20% fat containing raw milk to B in a can. We already have, I repeat again, we already have 20% fat containing raw milk with him. This is 1 liter. This is 1 liter. What B has done? Anyway, this milk belong to the same category, 20% fat containing. He has taken a very big can, mixed both of them. Mixed both of them. Once the milk is poured, na, can separate it, cannot separate it, cannot separate. How can you separate? Mix already done. Whenever foods are mixed, which are given by the Bailey, which are given by the bailor to the Bailey, if they are mixed by the Bailey with the consent of the bailor, see, I am a bailor, I am a bailor, I am having, say, example, this container full of 20% fat containing milk. You are another person. Same container, you are also having 20% fat containing milk, ditto same milk. He asked you, sir, anyway, I am also having the same. You are also giving the same to me. I will do one thing. I will mix both of them. What's wrong? Standing or not? I will mix both of them. Okay. I mix both of them. Both are same now. I will mix both. Then Baylor said, sir, okay, mix. Mix it. With that, created an output called as cheese. Okay. How done? A output called as you did some bacteria addition, all these things you have done, yeast created. After that, it resulted in cheese or butter, whatever the case may be. In that cheese or butter, that's called as mixture thus produced. Okay, in that my share in the cheese, in that my share is half, your share is also half, because shall be, see, both the parties, Baylor and Bailey, shall have an interest, means right, in the proportion to their respective shares. Okay, share means the part. So what is my part in the total? Half. What is your part in the total? Half. In the output also, I am having 50% share. You are also having a 50% share. That's what he wanted to tell in point number 2. First point, everyone tell me, understood up to here or not? Everybody understood? Yeah. Next. Next. Not yet completed. Not yet completed. See here. If the Bailey, without consent of the bailor, mixes the goods of the bailor with his own goods in such a manner, it is impossible to separate the goods bailed from the other goods and to deliver them back. The bailor is entitled to be compensated by the bailey for the loss of the goods. Means what? For the full loss, whatever is occurred, you are only responsible. You are only responsible. See, I gave you 1 liter, 1% fat. Okay, my purpose is I wanted to feed old people aged beyond 60. If they have high fat content milk, na, gone. The first diabetes patients are directly from home to operation theatre, direct. So therefore, it is very dangerous for them. Okay, so high fat milk is not good for adults. It is good for children. Low fat milk is fantastically good for old age, not for the children. So see, I gave 1 liter milk can, okay, having 1% fat for old age consumption. B is the Bailey. To him I gave. What B thought? Okay, mine is also milk, here is also milk. White color, milk, calcium. Mix both of them. He mixed both. Now tell me, this mixture is, okay, this mixture is made with the consent of the bailor or without consent? Without consent you have done. And it is possible to separate. Once you mix 1% fat milk and 20% fat milk, I can again separate. 1% come back, 20% come in. I can't separate. In that such case, complete milk for me is a waste one. Okay, for me means whom? For the bailor. Compensate the full value. Compensate the full value. So then in this case, sir, without consent of the bailor, without consent of the bailor, if a bailey mixes the goods without consent, here you observe clearly, if the bailey without consent mixes the goods bailed with his own goods, and goods can be separated or divided. Means separation is possible. Okay. First question is with the consent. With the consent. Second one is without consent, but separation is possible. Third one, without consent, separation also not possible. Here, separation is possible. What do you mean by separation? See, see here. I have given a bunch of goods. Okay, a bunch of goods. And I said that every good will contain my class's logo. My class's logo. Okay, I said my class's logo will be there. Ditto, same kind of books are also there with Bailey. Okay, but my logo is not there. I gave 10,000 books for printing or for some purpose. I gave it to another person. That person already have books of that kind without my class's logo. Mixed both of them. Now, separable and non-separable are separable, but I need 10-15 people to sit and do the separation work. That's why what they said, if the bailee without consent of bailor mixes the goods with his own goods and the goods can be separated, the property here represents ownership in the goods remains in the parties respectively, but the bailee is bound to bear expense of separation or division and any damage arising from the mixture. So whatever the cost is incurred, who should pay that? Bailee is bound to pay. 1, 2, 3. All the three are completed. Please read and third one, 1 to 2 points are there. Read both. Please, everyone, complete everything in the class. Read examples also. Read it. Or not everyone. I've given 3 minutes time again to read those. Now let's come to the fourth point. First one, reasonable care, not care. Second one, not to make inconsistent, improper use you should not do. For what purposes? I gave you for the same purposes you should use. Don't mix it. Mixing the three concepts. Mixed with the consent, mixed without consent. Without consent, again, two situations. Separable, non-separable. If it is mixed with the consent, no problem. Ownership will be proportionately given to both bailor and bailee in the output. Second, with separated, with the consent, without consent. Okay, with the consent, without consent. Without consent, if you do anything, then what will happen? And if it is inseparable, it is separable. Two situations will come. If it is separable, cost of expenses of separation has to be borne by the bailey. Inseparable, full compensation he has to pay for the goods also. Then we came into the concept of return the goods. And the goods. Simple logic. Yesterday already we read this point for the bailor. One of the duty of the bailor is when the purpose is accomplished or when the time period in the agreement is completed, bailey has to bring the goods to the bailor. Bailor must take back. Okay, point number one. Now reverse, we are talking about the duties of bailey. Same. Upon the expiry of the period given in the contract, upon the expiry of the period mentioned in the contract, or when the purpose is accomplished, bailey has to return the goods back to the real owner. Okay, that means to the bailor he must give. If he do not give, we do not give within the time period or within the purpose is accomplished, if anything happens after that, if any loss occurred to the destruction occurred to the some loss, monetary loss is caused to the bailor, then bailey has to compensate him. It is the duty of the bailey to return or deliver according to the bailor instruction. The goods bailed without demand as soon as the time for which they were bailed has expired for the purpose of the purpose for which they were bailed has been accomplished. Okay, simply bailey has to return the goods in two cases. Number one, expiry of time period, or the purpose for which they are given is accomplished. Okay, in case of default, means if the mistake is committed, goods are not returned, the delivery or the delivered or tendered at the proper time is responsible to the bailor for any loss caused or destruction or deterioration of the goods from that time. Okay, simply today you have to return back, but you are not returning. After that, something happened and goods are destroyed. Entire loss bailey has to pay. Next, return and accretion from the goods. See, there are farmers. There are two farmers living adjacent houses. House one la farmer one is there. House two la farmer two is there. Farmer one and farmer two are two different farmers. Okay, A and B. Farmer one and farmer two. Farmer one is having 5 cows. Farmer two is having 4 cows. Okay. Farmer one is going to a particular place where he will be coming again only in 15 days. 15 days, who has to take care of this cattle? Therefore, he sent all this cattle to second house, neighborhood, close friends. They said, please keep it in your place for just 50 days, because anyway, you are also having a cattle. You have a very good knowledge about that. When they will feel hungry, etc. So you do one thing, feed them. All expenses I will bear. But please take care of these innocent animals. That's what person in F1 said to person in F2. So let us take A and B, farmers. Okay, now listen. One of the cow in these 5 cows is about to deliver a calf. Means almost in another 10-15 days, it will give birth to another calf. Okay, another calf kit will give the birth. But calf means a baby of a particular cow is called as a calf. So calf will be coming very, very soon. Okay. So see here. 5 cows I have given. In that one of the cow, let us name it cow A. This is about to give delivery to another small baby cow, which we popularly call as a calf. Goods are bailed to F2. After F2 getting the goods bailed, it really gave birth to two different calves at the same time. Okay. Now you should answer the question clearly. To whom these calves will belong? Will they belong to the bailey because during his possession only those two came? No. Accretions also. Accretion means any additions. See, the bailey is bound to deliver to the bailor or according to the directions any increase or profit which is result of goods bailed. So it is accrued because of what bailed? Goods bailed. We are accruing that particular amount. Okay. So according to his directions, any increase or profit. So simply to tell, try to understand. If goods are bailed, from the goods bailed, if any income comes, accretions, additions made, those all also belong to the real owner only, not to the bailee. Next, not to set up a adverse title. Not to set up a adverse title. Okay, let us understand this. Bailee must not set up a title adverse to that of bailor. Means the ownership of bailor and bailee. Ownership of bailor and bailee should be a proper title. Simply to tell, bailor gave goods to bailee. Bailee should not go to court and said that these are my goods. You cannot tell like that. So, in simple language, if I have to tell, never a bailor, never a bailee should treat himself as the owner of the goods. You can never set up a adverse title. Adverse title means wrong title. Who is the owner? Real owner is there. That person will be called as the owner of the goods. Simply to tell, bailor is the owner. Bailee, just because of the reason that he received the goods, never he can become a bailee. Never he will become a owner. So that's why not to set up an adverse title. Bailee must not set up an adverse title to that of bailor. He must hold the goods on behalf of and for the bailor. Cannot deny the title of the bailor. Okay. He cannot misuse the bailor's title. Up to here, everyone understood clearly or not? We completed duties of the bailee as well. First, you should tell understood or not. Understood clearly. Now it's your turn to read. Return the goods, return accretion, not to set up an adverse title. So bailee can never put an adverse title asking the bailor. Bailee should never tell the should never say that I am having a title on the goods bailed. No, bailee can never have a title on the goods bailed. Properly. 4, 5, 6, 3 minutes time I will give. Complete it. We'll be going into the next area. Please read. Have you read everyone? Completed? Okay. Next segment. See what we are going to see in the next segment. First, let me give an overview. First one we are going to complete rights of the bailor. Next, we are going to complete rights of a bailee. Okay. Next, then 8.6 we are not going to study now. First, we'll complete the most important one, termination of bailment. Okay, termination of bailment. Next, finder of the lost goods. Next one is the right of lien. Right of lien. Then starts the concept of pledge. Pledge concept, I will tell only the concept relating to the pledge. Remaining whatever is relating to the bailment, we need not separately discuss. I told you so many times. Okay. Let us first focus on these areas. Let us start. See, what is the concept we are going to see now? Rights of the bailor. Okay, rights of the bailor. See, what is this rights of a bailor? I will first read out what are the rights. 1, 4, 5. There are 5 rights to the bailor. Rights of the bailor will be something similar to the duties of the bailee. Just now we read na? Duties of the bailee. Similar to that. Okay, let us see. Right to terminate the bailment. Right to terminate the bailment. Let us understand. See, who will give the goods? Bailor will give the goods. To whom? To the bailee. To the bailee. See, bailor gives the goods to the bailee. Suddenly he said that no, 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 I'm very sorry. Let me take back my goods. You can take back, terminate it. But sometimes for the premature termination, you have to pay compensation. If you remember, we already read this point. So, the contract of bailment is voidable at the option of the bailor if the bailee does not act with regard to the goods bailed inconsistent with the conditions of the bailment. Sir, what is this? Why you are terminating? I gave goods to the bailee for his own usage. He is running it for rent again. Okay? Say, for example, I said there is a function at my home. Please give your mandap set, etc. You said that, sir, okay, sir, take it. 10,000 per day. I said, okay, take, give. I took it. I gave to some other person for their usage and I charged 20,000 from them. Why I will accept all those things? First thing is I will terminate the bailment. Okay. Why? The goods bailed are used inconsistent with the conditions of the bailment. Inconsistent with the conditions of the bailment. In such a case, the bailment will get terminated. Bailment will get terminated. Compensation also need not be paid by the bailor to the bailee because bailee is in mistake now. Normally, when bailee mistake is not there, even then if you are terminating, then compensation has to be paid. Next. Right to demand back the goods. See, bailor gives the goods. Okay, bailor gives the goods. What we read in the duties of the bailor in the last class, what we read, you have to take the goods back when bailee gives you. Now what we read about the duties of bailee, you must return back the goods to the bailor, okay, once the time limit is expired or if the purpose is accomplished, or else any loss or destruction caused to the goods, bailee personally responsible. Now third case we are reading, not just bailor has a duty to take back, he also have a right to ask for the goods. For example, I gave my clothes to a laundry. Ideally, it will take around 5 to 7 days to do the laundry work. Okay, 5 days over, 7 days over, 11 days over, 15 days over. That fellow is not giving. How that fellow has a duty to give back. Anyway, he is not doing that. Okay, but I have a right to demand back my goods or not? Yes, that's what he wanted to tell. When the goods are lent gratuitously means, okay, when the goods are lent gratuitously, it represents without any consideration. With any consideration, the bailor can demand back the goods at any time, even before the expiry of time period or achievement of object. But last class we already read that even if it is a premature termination, okay, even in case of, even if it is a gratuitous or non-gratuitous, whatever the case may be. Hey, listen here. Yesterday I said you one point. Bailor gives the goods to the bailee. Can be of two types: gratuitously, non-gratuitously. Gratuitous is without consideration. Even in that case, any premature termination, if it causes damage to the bailee, bailor has to compensate the bailee. Book example I told you, exam time. Okay. However, due to premature return of the goods, if the bailee suffers any loss, which is more than the benefit actually obtained by him from the use of the goods bailed, bailor has to compensate the bailee. Clear? So, simply, when the goods are lent gratuitously and without consideration, bailor can demand back the goods at any time. It can be either before also. But if bailee can show that there is a loss caused to him because of that, then you have to pay him the compensation. Already we read this point in the last class. Right to file a suit against the wrongdoer. Okay. Next page, yesterday they discussed this. That's why we are not going to discuss here. Right to sue the bailee. Right to sue the bailee. If bailee is doing some wrong against the goods, bailor has a right to sue the bailee for enforcing all his rights and duties of him. Right to compensation. Right to compensation. Who has a right to compensation? Bailor. If any damage is caused to the goods bailed, okay, because of the bailee, unauthorized use of the goods, bailor has a right to claim compensation. So if you do not use the goods in a proper way for which they are given, any damage is caused to that, you are liable to pay it. Who is liable? Bailee is liable to pay. So these are all the rights of the bailor. What are the rights of the bailor? Termination of bailment. Okay, termination of bailment, return of the goods, filing a suit, filing a suit against any wrongdoer. See, that's the third one. Filing a suit against a wrongdoer. We'll see that later. Another suit, okay, and right to claim compensation. Right to claim compensation. Tell me, what is the first one? Termination of bailment, return the goods, suing, and the second type of suing. Finally, the right to claim compensation. So, if it is a gratuitous bailment or non-gratuitous bailment, anytime we have a right to terminate this particular bailment contract. Okay, you can terminate. When you can terminate? You can terminate if the goods are used inconsistent with the agreement that was entered. Given purpose is one purpose, you are doing another purpose with that. I can terminate. And I have a right to demand back the goods when I bail. At any time I can return. And any time I can ask you to return back. But when you are giving the goods on a gratuitous or non-gratuitous, whatever the case may be, and you are taking back the goods immediately, any loss caused to the other party being the bailee, bailor has a what to say the obligation to pay the compensation. This we will discuss later. To the bailee, if you are not using it consistently with the terms and conditions, have a right to sue by enforcing all liabilities and duties. Next one. Right to compensation if any damage is caused to the goods bailed because of unauthorized use of goods, unauthorized mixing, the bailor has a right to claim compensation for the same. So, can a bailor has a right to claim compensation or not? Yes, bailor has a right to claim compensation. If any damage is caused to the goods bailed, bailor will ask for a compensation for the goods bailed. It's all about rights of bailor. Next comes rights of the bailee. We completed duties of the bailor, duties of the bailee, rights of the bailor, rights of the bailee. Main discussion in this chapter, except termination of bailment, except termination of bailment will be completed. Termination of bailment and lien concept is there. General lien and particular lien. Those are the two classic important areas in this chapter, which we will discuss once we complete the rights of the bailee. See here. What are the rights of the bailee? Following are the rights. Right to deliver the goods to any one of the joint bailors. Any one of the joint bailors. Sir, what do you mean by joint bailor? Joint bailor means, see here, A, B, C are farmers. Okay. This person has given 100 kgs of paddy. This person gave 50 kgs of paddy. This person gave 75 kgs of paddy. All these are given to a person called as Mr. D. A person called as a Mr. D. Harvest came. They gave all this paddy to that particular person. The point or not? So he has taken from all the three. A gave 100 kgs, B gave 50 kgs paddy, C gave 75 kgs paddy. The point or not? So why all the three are giving separately? Is people are not giving separately. There is one piece of land. There is one piece of land. In this land, ownership is with A, B, and C. Joint owners of one agricultural land. Okay? Joint owners of one agricultural land. So what they have done, they have grown paddy in the first part, paddy in the second part, paddy also in the third part. All the three are joint owners. Means if they sell the entire produce, whatever comes, they will divide by 3 and share between all the 3 agriculturists. See here. A, B, C, in their agricultural land, they grown 100 kgs, 50 kgs, and 75 kgs of paddy. They gave it to Mr. D for dehusking. What is dehusking? Whenever you see a paddy grain, brown color coat will be there. When we are eating normal rice, they will remove that. Okay, 3 stages of polishing will be done for the grain. Okay, so that paddy grain is there. Dehusking they will do, polishing they will do, and they will give white pearls type of rice in bags. They will be giving back to A, B, and C respectively. It is general conventional tradition going on over a period of 5-6 years. Now listen. A has given 100 kgs, B has given 50 kgs, C has given 75 kgs from the same land. Just ownership is separated. Now, D has taken all the rice, put it in a machine, removed the husk, polished it, and again 100 kgs to 50 kgs, 75 kgs, 3 bags came. Turning or not. Now, D returned all the goods to Mr. A. Total, all the 3 kinds of bags, 100 kgs, 50 kgs, 75 kgs bag, he gave to A. He has a right to do like that or not? Yes. If the joint ownership is there with the bailor, listen carefully. Exam question. If there is a joint ownership with the bailor, if all the 3 are 3 different bailors, he can't give. But if there is a joint ownership to all the bailors, delivery to any one of the joint bailor will be treated as a delivery to the remaining also. If several joint owners bailed the goods, bailey has a right to deliver them to any one of the joint owners unless there was a contrary. It's clearly in the agreement they said deliver only to B. At that time you can't deliver to A and C because contrary contract is there. Contrary means reverse, separate, different. Next one. Right to indemnity. Right to indemnity. Let us read. Bailey is entitled to be indemnified. Indemnified means coverage of loss by the bailor for any loss arising to him by reasons that bailor was not entitled to make the bailment or to receive the goods or to receive back the goods or to give directions in respect of them. If bailor has no title to the goods and the bailee in good faith delivers them back to or according to the directions of the bailor, the bailee shall not be responsible to the owner in respect of such delivery. Bailee can also claim all the necessary expenses incurred by him for the purpose of the gratification. And I did not understand even a part. Take time. Take time. Read it properly. concept? Everyone read the concept? See here. Let me explain this concept. Why it requires an explanation is, listen, if something is having a example, it becomes easy also for the student. When content is there but example is not there, means it becomes difficult exam, the problem you will face. So let's not have that problem. Let us understand. Let's break the entire paragraph into some parts and try to understand it. See. Okay. Now, Bailey is entitled, means having a right to be indemnified by the bailor, means bailor has to cover the loss of Bailey. So why Bailey has incurred loss? For any loss arising to him by reasons that, so he is telling the reason why you incurred the loss. Bailor was not entitled to make the bailment. Super point number one. Bailor ki right of ownership not there. What is not there? Right of ownership not there. See, situations I will tell. Bailor has the goods with him. Bailor has the goods with him. Those goods he obtained by theft. Means first you are not the owner. In order Bailey to give the goods, first thing is bailor should be the owner first for the goods, or he should have a right to give the goods on a bailment. He should have that right first. First, he himself is not having a right to hold the goods, means how can he give to the bailment for another person? Therefore, try to understand clearly. Bailor was not entitled to make the bailment, or bailor is the owner of the goods. Bailor is the owner of the goods. Undoubtedly, he is the owner. Okay. But 2 days after he sold it to some other person by agreement, ownership is transferred. Okay. Say, for example, I gave goods to you. I gave goods to you. After giving the goods to you, for example, I gave car on a hire to you for 10 days. You will use and give me back. In this 10 days time, I sold my car to another person and a documentation done. Delivery a pending. Now listen, bailor has no right to receive the car now. Recipient of the car should be the new owner of the car. So, bailor was not entitled to make the bailment. He is having no right to give the bailment, or he has a right to give the bailment, but at the time of receipt of goods, he don't have a right to receive the goods back. Okay, or few directions in respect of them. If the bailor has no title to the goods, means no ownership on the goods, and the bailee in good faith, means without knowing the fact that he has no right, delivers them back to or according to the directions of the bailor. See, bailor has no right on the goods. Okay, but that is not known to Bailey. He thought he is a real bailor. Okay, he has done something and he has given back to the bailor again. Then the real owner came into picture, catch the collar of the Bailey and said that, how dare you give goods to him? Bailey will tell that, point number one, I don't know that those goods are yours. Point number two, I am in good faith. Okay. Point number three, I don't know that he has no right to give goods on bailment. So in good faith means in a sense, without knowing the mistakes involved, I gave the goods back to him. Therefore, Bailey shall not be responsible to the owner in respect of such a delivery. Okay, not only that, Bailey can also claim all necessary expenses incurred by him for the purposes of gratuitous bailment. If it is a gratuitous bailment, along with no what to say liability to outsider, he can also take the necessary expenses. The necessary expenses. See, there is a person A. Okay, there is a person A. Listen carefully to the point. There is a person A. A is having a gold chain worth rupees 50 lakh. Okay, very good gold chain is there. Okay, this is not 50 lakhs. Normally, I'm saying gold chain with a diamond pendant. Let's say it's a 50 lakhs worth. A has. Okay, who has? A. B is operating locker service. Okay. C made the robbery of this chain. If you keep it with him, the police will catch. He gave to a locker service B, said that put it in the locker. What B will think? Whether C is the owner. That's why he is asking to safe locker, because might be he is going somewhere else. B has taken. 4 days completed, 5 days completed. He is the bailee. Now he is the bailor in the mind of B. C came to B on that date and said, 5 days back I gave you chain, please give me, he said. He gave him. Later, A came to know that B kept the particular chain in the locker. A came to B and said, as the caller of B and said, "Hey, you have taken my chain." He said, "Your chain? Which chain?" "This chain." He saw the photo. Then he said, "Hey, this is not yours. B has given." He said, "Are Muttal, that C has made a what to say, theft from me. He is a robber. After robbing the chain from me, he gave to you." B said, "How I will know about all these things? I will not know." He said, "Police complaint. I will give police complaint. I will only give police complaint. No, not you." B said to A. Now B is innocent, not innocent, innocent. Therefore, since he don't know that the bailor is not the owner, since he don't know that the bailor is not the owner, good faith I gave the goods to him. Okay, I will collect. So B, being the owner of the locker, will not be responsible to outsider, to the real owner called as A, because I have done any mistake. I haven't done any mistake. Secondly, he can collect locker expenses from Mr. C. What expenses? Locker, because locker expenses are the necessary expenses. If it is a gratuitous payment, if it is a non-gratuitous payment, already C might have paid B some locker expenses. If it is gratuitous, I will not be responsible to the real owner. And secondly, I will also collect the necessary expenses as a compensation. What you want to tell in this? Everybody answer understood or not? Everyone, no silence, answer understood or not? Up to here. Next. So first one is the right to deliver the goods to any of the joint bailors. Second one is the right to indemnity. Mark this indemnity point important, because no example, chance of coming in exam is very, very high. Next, right to claim compensation in case of faulty goods. Case of faulty goods. See, yesterday I told you one concept. There are two types of bailment: gratuitous, non-gratuitous. Whenever it is a gratuitous bailment, bailor should tell about all the known faults. When it is a non-gratuitous bailment, bailor should about both the known and unknown faults. Correct? With the line of that understanding, let's read. A bailee is entitled to receive compensation from bailor, okay, or any loss caused to him due to the failure of the bailor to disclose the faults. This is the point. So, bailor has already disclosed the faults, then not responsible, bailor. Or else, bailee has a right to recover compensation from the bailor if failure to disclose the faults. If the bailment is for hire, means non-gratuitous, bailor will be liable to compensate even though he was not aware of that existence. That's why you should also tell about the unknown faults as well. Known faults, unknown faults. Both the faults you should tell if it is a non-gratuitous. Already read. Right to claim necessary expenses. In case of gratuitous bailment, bailor shall repay to the bailee all necessary expenses incurred. Okay? All necessary expenses incurred. See, if it is a gratuitous bailment, if it is a gratuitous bailment, not only necessary, extraordinary expenses also you can recover. In a non-gratuitous bailment, already I paid to you, na? So you can recover only extraordinary expenses, not the not necessary. Right to apply to the court to decide the title to the goods. Okay? See, A gave a chain to B. C gave chain to B. Same example. C gave chain to B. said that put it in the locker. Put it in the locker. Knowing about this, A came to B and said, that is my chain, not C's chain. How would I know? He only gave me. That's why I kept it in a locker. I don't know who is the real owner. Okay. Now dispute is going on between A, B, C. A is saying I am the owner of the goods paid. C is saying I am the owner of the goods paid. Now what right law has given to the bailee? Don't give to A, don't give to C also. Apply to the court. If the goods bailed are claimed by person other than bailer, bailee may apply to the court to stop its delivery and to decide the title. Okay. First stop delivery. Don't give to A, don't give to C. I will first go to the court. Let the court decide. Next. Particular lien. I will tell about general lien and particular lien later. So general lien, particular lien also rights. But we are going to discuss about general lien and particular lien separately. We will read at that time. You can understand it much clearly in detail. Up to here, we completed rights of the bailor, rights of the bailee as well. Okay. I will give you 3-4 minutes time. Please, exams are very near for you. Don't just sit and sleep. Please read rights of the bailor and rights of the bailee. Make it very, very fast. 2 minutes for the rights of the bailor, 2 minutes for the rights of the bailee. You have exams. I think you should be serious. Read it properly. Continue to the next one. Okay. Enough time given also for you to read and prepare the next stage. What is the next one? Termination of bailment. What is the next one? Termination of bailment. See, I will cover termination concept and then I will go to finder of lost goods. Then I will give you a break. After that, we will discuss about the lien concept. Students are leaving the concept, they are not having clarity, or I don't know the reasons exactly. They are asking in exam. Then I will give you the overall idea behind the concept of pledge. Okay. With that, we will also complete this very big area called as bailment and pledge. Let's see. First, concept name, termination of bailment. First, let us cover this. See, what do you mean by termination of bailment? Bailment will come to an end. When bailment will come to an end? After a certain period. After a certain period. There are two easy ways of understanding this. Sometimes bailment will be given for a fixed period. Okay. Sometimes bailment will be given for fixed period. Sometimes bailment will be given for a fixed purpose. Sometimes bailment will be given for fixed purpose. I will give an example. Vehicle renting, I said, na, Ola, cab, etc. Those are all period. For example, I said, I wanted to take your cab or your car for 1 day or for 1 week or for 1 month or for 15 days. This is all time related bailment contract. Means what? After that 15 days, bailment will be terminated. Bailment will be terminated. Means you are in the possession of the goods. You are in the possession of the goods on what you don't have ownership. I'm talking about bailey. I'm talking about bailey. Okay. So therefore, try to understand clearly. See here. Here. So therefore, what you have to understand, whenever we are talking about a bailment contract, certain bailment contracts will be given for time period. Certain bailment contracts will be given for a purpose. Once the purpose is accomplished, we have to give back. Okay. So therefore, what you have to understand here, purpose sometimes, time period sometimes. These are the two very, 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 very important terminations of bailment purposes. Okay. Same they have given. Contract of bailment shall terminate in the following circumstances. On expiry of stipulated period. If the goods were given for a stipulated period, the contract of bailment shall terminate after the expiry of such period. Next. X gave motor vehicle for 1 month. Bailment terminates after 1 month. Understandable. On fulfillment of the purpose. Purpose should be accomplished. Gave for a specific purpose, laundry, etc. Chapel in a chapel stand. Once my purpose is accomplished, what you have to do? You have to give back. X hires certain tents and crockery on a marriage. Same example, what we have taken. Shamian and all these. Okay, tent. The bailment terminates after the marriage. Once the marriage is complete, you have to give back. Next. Okay. Let us understand fourth one first. Easy. Death. Okay. What is it? Death. Gratuitous bailment terminates upon death of either bailor or bailee. Okay. Means what? Non-gratuitous bailment law, what is the problem? Already money was taken. Legal representatives will be responsible to complete the contract. Okay. By notice, important. Where the bailee acts in a manner which is inconsistent with the terms of bailment. I already told you. For example, I gave to the bailey for his use. He is again re-renting it to some other person. It is consistent with our terms or inconsistent? Inconsistent, bailor can always terminate the contract by giving notice to the bailey. Okay. Already we said that. Rights of the bailey. That's why they clearly said termination of bailment has been discussed in next pages. Okay. So he is using for purposes other than for the specified purpose. Okay. Then what bailor can do? Bailor can make the contract voidable and he can cancel the contract if it is inconsistent with the conditions. Same he is saying again here. Okay. Where the bailey acts in a manner inconsistent with the terms of bailment, the bailor can always terminate the contract by giving a notice. Next. A gratuitous bailment means no consideration can be terminated by the bailor at any time by giving a notice to bailey. However, termination should not cause any loss to the bailee in excess of the benefit. Otherwise, how many times we will read the same point? If the loss, if in case the loss exceeds the benefit, bailor must compensate the bailee. So many times the same point. That's it. With this, we completed a very small area but important area for exam called as termination of bailment. So tell me, how many times the termination can happen? Number one, specified time, specified purpose, death, and by notice. Why by notice? If bailee does anything inconsistent with the terms and conditions of bailment, any time bailor can cancel, terminate the bailment. Okay. If it is a gratuitous bailment, okay, bailor can give a notice to the bailee and terminate. But due to termination, if he incurs any loss in excess of the benefit acquired, then he has to pay the compensation. Bailor should compensate the bailee. About that, I gave examples in the last class elaborately. Next. Fifth one, the last one. Destruction of subject matter. Destruction of subject matter. See, bike example I told, na, bike or car or something. A gave to B a car for 1 week rent. B took that car, kept it in a parking place. Suddenly, a truck came and hit that car. Car became almost into powder. Okay, it is beyond any repair. The subject matter of the bailment itself is the goods, and the goods are now not in a condition. Bailment will end. Bailment is terminated. The subject matter of the bailment is destroyed, or there is a change in the nature of the goods which makes it impossible to be used for the purpose of bailment. Okay. See, then you will ask, sir, then for that, who will pay comp? That is all different. Whether he has taken a reasonable care or not of the goods bail, that is all a different discussion. That already we read in the duties of the bailor, duties of the bailee. We are not here to talk about what compensation. When it get terminated, only we are discussing now. If the subject matter of the goods, which are the subject matter of the entire this concept of bailment, they themselves are not in a condition or they are destroyed, bailment will come to an end. Okay. Next, finder of the lost goods. Finder of the lost goods. Sale of goods act, there is a concept similar to this. Okay, which act? Sale of goods act. Even in the chapter called as performance of a contract in general contracts, you will find a concept similar to this concept. Okay, similar to this concept will be there. A person who finds some goods which do not belong to him going on a road. I saw an iPhone. I am called as a finder of the goods. It is the duty of the finder, my duty, to find the true owner and surrender the goods to him, give him. How to find? That is your headache. Put it on Facebook, put it on Insta, put it on social media, give a newspaper advertisement if you want. I don't know how you will get it, but it is your duty. However, but most of the times we can't find. Na? The finder of the goods has no right to sue the owner for compensation for the trouble and the expense voluntarily incurred by him in finding the owner and preserving the goods found. Means I found an iPhone on a road. Okay. I tried my level best with password, but it could not work. Face ID anyway will not work. I gave advertisement. I boosted the post by paying extra to Instagram. I gave newspaper advertisement saying this is the phone I found. It's costing somewhere around 1,00,000. So anyone wanted, please come and claim. Okay. Real owner saw that and came to him. He said, please give my phone. I gave him a phone. I said, Array, I spent around 20,000 rupees on newspaper advertisement and around 4,000 rupees on Instagram. And I took a lot of nonsense expenses, yeah, all these things. Pay me 30,000, he said. Real owner said, as a responsible citizen of India, your responsibility is to find the lost goods. Whenever you found it, you give the true owner. The responsibility of a responsibility, who will pay? I will not pay, he said. He said, Amma, Anjayam, Kaliyuganla good people don't have a proper respect. I will sue you in the court, he said. Finder of the goods has no right to sue the owner for compensation for the trouble he has taken and voluntary expenses he incurred. That is citizen, na? You are a citizen of India. You have that responsibility. But he has a right to retain the goods against the owner until he receives such compensation. And where the owner has offered specific reward on the lost goods, okay, specific reward on the lost goods, the finder may sue the owner for such reward, okay, and may retain the goods until then. Means if there is any reward announced, means the real owner is, he gave a newspaper advertisement saying that if anyone finds this iPhone and give it to me, I will pay them 10,000 cash reward. If that is not paid, you can retain the goods until the prize money is given to you. Don't give the iPhone until and unless he give you the 10,000 rupees. Understood? That right the fellow will have. Next. Now question. Can the finder of the lost goods sell the goods? Question. When a thing which is commonly the subject of sale, if lost, if the owner cannot, with reasonable diligence and reasonable analysis, reasonable efforts, be found, means cannot be found, real owner cannot be found, okay, upon demand to pay lawful charges of the finder may sell it when the thing is in the danger of perishing or loss in the greater part of value. Means I found something, but it's a perishable good. Means I can't wait for 1.5 months for the owner. 10 days it will perish. In such case, owner of the lost goods can sell that. Understood? Okay. Next, when he can sell, if the goods are perishable in nature, or when the lawful charges of the finder in respect of the thing found amounts to 2/3 of its value, means cost of the product is 10,000. Say example, 2/3 and 6.67. 7,000 rupees. Actually, 6,667 is enough. I spent 7,000 rupees for finding the owner. You can deduct this and pay the balance to him. Understood? You can sell. Okay. When you can sell, if your costs are 2/3 of the value, now you can sell the goods. Keep the value with you. But understand the concept of no right to sue here. I gave newspaper advertisement. 20,000 I spent. Instagram boosting, Facebook post boost, all these things I have done another 10,000 I spent. 30,000 is my expense. I have to claim from you. Owner came, real owner came. I said, please give 30,000. He said, I will not give. I said, I will not give the phone also. Okay. Suing is not possible. That's what I said. I did not say that you can't realize or compensate. See, that's why you will do mistakes like this in exam, marks gone. Half you will understand. Whatever the half you didn't understand, that will come in exam. See, finder of lost goods has no right to sue the owner for compensation, etc. But he has a right to retain the goods against the owner until he receives such compensation. Means in the court you can't sue, but you can put the phone with you and say, I incurred 30,000 rupees. See the bills. Boost post I paid 10,000 to Instagram. Newspaper I gave 20,000. Okay, I am a responsible citizen. That's why I have done all these things. But my responsibility is coupled with some cost also to me. Pay that, I will give the phone. He said, oh, I will not pay. Then I will not give the phone also. You go to court. Court you cannot go. That's what you cannot do. Understood? The private issue of two people resolved between you. Okay. When you can sell the lost goods, okay, when you can sell even after reasonable efforts, could not find the real owner. The goods are perishing in nature, sell. Or goods are not perishing, okay, goods are not perishing, but the expenses are incurred on the goods are 2/3 of the value of the goods, then sell. This is with regard to the concept called as finder of the lost book. First of all, everyone tell me, live students, are you all comfortable up to here? Understood the concept clearly or not? Everyone. Done? Very good. So we are left only with the two concepts now in this area. One is right of lien. I have to explain that very clearly. Next one is the pledge, overall idea of a pledge. Okay. These two are the things that we need to complete now. Take a break and come. After that, we will continue with the right of lien and the next concept called as a pledge. With that, we complete it. Take a break and come. So let us continue. We have completed up to finder of the lost goods. Now we are going into the last and final segment of the chapter, right of lien. Okay. Next, we are going into the concept called as pledge. With this chapter also will get completed. A very good marks gaining chapter. So let us begin. What is the concept we are going to do now? Right of lien. First, let me explain you the concept of what do we mean by lien. What is a lien? Lien means taking into possession. Forget about other definitions the act give. We tell in easy, understandable English. Taking into possession the goods belonging to some other person. When there are any debts due from him. Taking into possession the goods belonging to some other person when there are debts due from him. See, here there are three very, very important words. Taking into possession, goods, debts. Means what? Lien is not claiming a ownership. Lien is about retaining the possession. Retaining the possession. On what? On the goods, mobile goods. When there are any debts due, I will give you good amount of examples for you to understand. Bailor gives goods to the bailee to do some work on the goods and give back. After the work is completed, what the bailee has to do? Return back the goods and take the compensation. Money he has to take. The consideration we call. Correct or not? So what he has to take? Consideration he has to take. Who has to take consideration? Bailor has to take a, bailee has to take a, bailee has to take consideration. Okay, for doing that work. Say example, bailee is a person doing laundry work. Bailor, we are giving him the clothes. Let us imagine a situation like this. We give unclean clothes to the bailor, bailee. Bailee will do all the work on that. Once everything, the work is completed on that particular goods, immediately he will wash it, clean it, iron, give back. You have to pay him the money. Na? If you don't pay the money to him, okay, if you don't pay the money to him, okay, then there are two options available to the bailee. Number one, goods given to you, but you did not pay. Then he can go to the court and sue you. That is one way. Goods are not delivered. He said, give money, I will give the goods. You did not pay money. He will not give the goods. The concept of retaining the possession of the goods belonging to some other person when there are any debts due from him, that concept we call as lien. Okay? Lien. So who will have the lien here? Bailee always have a lien. Who will always have a lien here? Bailee will always have a lien. Okay, let us try to understand. Bailor gives goods to bailee. Bailor will give goods to bailee. So when Bailor give goods to bailee, bailee has to do perform some work on that goods and he has to give back. When you don't pay the money to him, automatically bailee will exercise the lien. Okay, so let's see. What is a lien? Lien is a right of a person to retain the goods belonging to another, retaining the possession on the goods belonging to another, belonging to other person until the claim is satisfied, until debts are due from him, debt due to him is repaid. Two types of lien: particular lien, general lien. Particular lien, general lien. Let us first talk about particular lien. This concept also again in Soga we will read. Okay. It is a right. Lien is a right. Right to do what? Right to retain. Only the particular goods in respect of which claim is due. Section 170 provides where bailee has in accordance with the purpose of bailment, rendered any service, laundry and cleaning, involving exercise of labor or skill. Okay, in case of iron, in case of washing, labor work. In case of ironing, skill is required. Labor or skill or both. Okay, in respect of goods bail, he has, in the absence of contract to the contrary, a right to retain such goods. Okay, a right to retain such goods until he receives due remuneration for the services he has rendered in respect of them. Simple language. Until you receive money for the services you have provided on the cloth, means cleaning it, drying it, ironing it, and giving back. Until the money is received, you need not give back. Need not give back. Okay. See, A gives a cloth to B, a tailor, to make a coat. B is entitled to retain the coat until he is paid. Obviously, tailors will not give you until and unless you pay them. If in the above example, B takes 15 days time to make a coat, right of lien will be applicable only after 15 days. Okay. So he already said 15 days means right of lien will be applicable after how many days, sir? 15 days. So 15 days already period is there. After 15 days, if you don't pay, then I will exercise the lien. A delivers a rough diamond to B, a jeweler, to cut and polish, which is accordingly done. B is entitled to retain the stone till he is paid for the services he has rendered. Understood. But what is the main thing that you need to understand here? Particular lien is a right to retain only the particular goods. Sir, what is this? I did not understand. See, I will give you a super example for you. See here. See here. I'll explain the point. A is the bailor. B is the bailee. A gave cloths for stitching. B has to stitch it and give back. For that, they agreed a consideration of 500 for stitching. After stitching it, he has to make the payment or not? Yes. A gave clothes to stitching to B. B has done his work, stitching over. But A did not make the payment of this 500. Now B will give, I will not give, B will not give. He will retain the goods with him only. We call it as lien, but exercised. Now the question, B can retain, B can retain only the purpose for which the goods, the purpose which are involved in the contract. Here, what he has given, cloth. What B has to give back, shirt or a pant or both, pair of dress. Okay, only the pair of dress only you can put as a lien. Pair of dress only you have to put as lien. See, I will give you an example now. A, B, two parties are there. A is a bailor. B is a tailor. Who is a bailee. Okay, you have given him two works. Number one is a shirt stitching, another one is a pant stitching. Separately, you have given cloth. You said stitch for shirt and stitch for pant. You have given two cloths and you have asked him to stitch on that. He said, sir, stitching of shirt will be 500. Stitching of pant as per your design is 1000. Understood the point? Now listen carefully. He said 15 days time will be taken. 15 days anyway he cannot exercise any lien because payment are not due. 15 days completed. A came to B and said, give my dress. He said, sir, make the payment. I paid 500 rupees. I said, I will not pay the balance 1000. He said, then I will put the shirt and pant with me. I will put both shirt and pant with me. Try to understand clearly. I paid only 500. Na? Means for the shirt payment I made. Pant payment I did not make. Now, we can exercise the lien only on that particular goods for which a payment is not received. Not on shirt. Shirt, I already made the payment. You have no right to exercise lien on shirt now. You have a right to exercise lien only on the pant because for that only you did not receive the payment. For that only due is there. I think you are understanding the point. Everyone, Live? Understood the logic clearly? Everyone understood the logic clearly? Yeah. So you can't exercise whatever lien you want. You can exercise only on that particular good for which you did not receive the payment. Remaining, you cannot exercise any kind of lien. Hopefully, you are understanding the point, right? That's the first point. Now, let's come to general lien. Let's come to what lien? General lien. See here. It is a right to retain, same right to retain the goods, not only for the demands arising out of the goods retained, but also for the general balance of account in favor of certain persons. Section 171 provides this right available to the bankers, factors, warfingers, policy brokers, attorneys of law, etc. Main content is here I have a right to lien only on the particular goods on which claim is due. Here, who right to retain the goods not only for the demand arising on that good, but also for the general balance of the account. Means what? See, there is a person called as A. There is a person called as A. There is a person called as SBI. A has taken two loans, loan 1, loan 2. From whom? From SBI. Loan 1, 1 lakh. Loan 2, 5 lakh. For this 5 lakh loan, he kept gold jewelry as a security. Okay. Pledge concept type. This is unsecured. This is what secured? Unsecured. And security is not there. Okay. Who has to pay? A has to pay to SBI. Correct? Now listen. SBI is there, A is there. A has taken two loans from SBI, one unsecured, one secured. Unsecured for 1 lakh, secured for 5 lakhs. For the secured loan, security is the gold jewelry. Unsecured, there is no security. Okay. Both are of same period, 1 year loans. 1 year completed. A went to SBI and paid 5 lakh rupee. How much rupee? 5 lakh rupee. 1 lakh rupee he did not pay. 1 lakh rupee he did not pay. Okay, what he thought? Anyway, security is there on 5 lakh loan. Na. Let me pay 5 lakh and release the security. 1 lakh is anyway unsecured. Na. Let the bank come after me like a dog. Okay. So they will only ask, sir, please, sir, pay, sir. He thought like that. Let me pay the secured loan of 5 lakh, release the gold which is kept as security. After that, balance 1 lakh is unsecured. There is no security on that. Let the bank come after me like a dog every day. Okay, I will also do a lot of drama with them. That's how he thought. That's how he thought. But reverse, na? Banks are having general lien powers. What is the concept of this general lien? General lien says that I have taken 5 lakh 5 lakh security. Yeah. Gold is taken as a security. Yeah. For that loan is there. Loan was already repaid. I will not give you the gold. You have unsecured loan worth 1 lakh. Na? You pay that. If you don't pay, even though this is not a secured one, this is a general balance that is available. Balance means due. Even though this is a general balance of account, okay, I will still exercise the lien, pay that 1 lakh, then I will release this 5 lakhs also. I mean, jewelry also, like that also they can tell. Such a concept where right given to a person to retain the goods, not for that particular claim of goods, other general account claim, those are called as general lien. General lien. Under the general lien, goods cannot be sold, but only be retained for the dues. Cannot sell the gold. You can only you can only put it with you till that person pays you the unsecured loan. That's it. Same example what I said. Even here, amounts are very small. Next. What is the difference between general lien and particular lien? Sir, mark it very important. Step number 25, expected question. That's it. General lien. Under section 171 of Indian Contract Act, confer on Bailey the right to general lien. 170 confers to Bailey the right of particular lien. So 171 general lien, 170 particular lien. 71, 170. Remember, 1 point over. General lien eludes means giving the power to the right to keep possession of the goods belonging to another against general balance. Here, against specified goods for non-payment of amount. Here, general balance key you can create. Here, only for the specific goods you have taken. General lien is not automatic, but it is recognized through agreement. Means what? Normally, everyone don't have general lien. Banks have general lien because whenever you take loan from bank, even though if it is unsecured, in the terms and conditions, they will write clearly. We will exercise a general lien. It is exercised by the bailiff only by name. It is automatic. Okay, so no agreement needed. It can be exercised against goods even without involvement of labor or skill. Okay. Even without exercise of labor or skill. Sir, what does it mean? Previous example of what I said, A took a loan from bank, or that gold was kept as a jewelry. Gold was kept as a jewelry security. Gold is given as a security. The jewelry, gold jewelry is kept as security. Bank is doing any work on jewelry, yeah? No, just it's a security. So general lien can be exercised even though when there is no labor or skill involved. But particular lien comes into play only when some labor or skill is involved, has been expended on the goods, resulting in increase in the value of goods. Only such persons are specified. Only some people can exercise general lien, bankers, factors, etc. Barfingers, policy brokers, etc. But Bailey, finder of goods, pledgee, everyone can exercise a particular lien. Before you, 2 minutes time, complete the lien concept. Before that, everyone listening to the class live, please give a reply. Did you all understand the concept of lien clearly? Yeah, especially the concept of general and particular lien. Yes, sir. 2 minutes time, fastly revise the concept of lien. Complete it. Exam expected question this time. Differences. Properly. Okay. Continue. Last part, everyone. Go to the last part and complete. See here, let us move on to the final part of this particular chapter called as pledge concept. So, what is the whole idea behind the concept of pledge? See, everything is same like bailment, ditto same. The only difference is pledge is nothing but the bailment contract with a debt transaction. Okay. Basically, I told you one example just now. State Bank of India, you kept as a pledge contract. In a pledge contract, along with the concept of bailment, there will be a concept of debt attached to it. Okay. I will give you an example. A gave clothes to B for a laundry. In this, what is involved? Work of skill and labor is involved in this case. Correct or not? Work of skill and labor is involved in this case. So person has to do a lot of work on that. Okay. Next. For example, I gave a table, iron table to a person, ask him, paint it and give me back. Now painting is a skill. Okay. It's a labor work come skill. I said, I wanted design of my classes and also painting. Color mixes also I told. It's always a skill and labor. Both are involved. After the painting is completed, you should give the table. If I don't give the money, lean exercise, particularly. Okay. Skill of labor will be involved in case of a general bailment or pledge. However, in case of a pledge, skill or labor will not be involved. Goods are given not to do any work. Goods are given not to put it in a safe custody. Goods are given for security for the debt. For the debt. A has taken 1 lakh loan from B. B, they have given gold jewelry as a security worth 1 lakh. Now, what you have to understand, there are two persons. There are two persons, goods, movable, transferred, okay, for a purpose, and this purpose is security for debt payment. Security for debt payment. That's it. It will be a bailment, a pledge debt. Automatically, it will be called as a pledge contract. Bailment and debt makes a pledge contract. Everyone understood the concept clearly? Therefore, essentials of a contract, and there are two parties involved. Paner, Pani. Paner means the person who is transferring the goods. Simply the person who take the loan or who is indebted. Person to whom you are indebted is called as a Pani. The bailment of goods as security for payment of debt called as pledge. The bailer is in the case called as a Paner, and the bailee is called as a Pani. Next. Essentials. There should be bailment of goods for security. Subject matter is goods again. Goods pledged shall be in existence. Gold is in existence. There shall be delivery from pledger to pledge. Next. One by one, let us see the rights. Okay, one by one, let us see the rights. Bailment and pledge, just see the differences later. Then chapter completed. So mainly we need to discuss about this area. Only side headings here. Nothing you need to read beyond that. Okay. First, right to retain the pledged goods. Right to retain the pledged goods. If payment is not made by the paner to the pani, what he will do? Retain the pledged goods. General lien, particular lien. The paner may retain the goods pledged for non-payment of any debt. Okay. And but for the interest of the debt and all of the necessary expenses incurred in him in preservation of the goods pledged. You have given gold. I need to put somewhere. Na? I hired a locker and I kept there. Those charges also will recover from you. Next. Right of retention of subsequent debts. Right of retention of subsequent debts. Sir, what is this? See, this is a general lien. What lien? General lien. You have kept gold for a loan. Further, you have taken another unsecured loan. Further, there is no security. This can be added also to the subsequent debts. The pani can retain the goods pledged for any debt or promise other than the debt or promise for which they are pledged. That's why we call it what lien? General lien. Next, retain means lien. So I can exercise lien of particular goods. Particular goods is paid, but you did not pay the balance. For the general account also, I will exercise the lien. That's what we call as a general lien. But he can exercise this right only when there is a contract to this effect. Pawn is right to extraordinary expenses incurred. The pawn is entitled to receive from the pawner extraordinary expenses incurred for him for preservation of the goods. Okay. For such expenses, however, he does not have to right to retain, but he has a right to sue the pawner for expenses. Okay. He cannot directly incur, he can sue him and get back the expenses. But main thing for the examination you have to remember is, yes, he can receive extraordinary expenses also. Pawn is right means the person who gave loan and took the goods as security, he is right if the pawner makes a default. If the pawner makes a default in payment of debt or a promise at a stipulated time, pawner may bring a suit against the pani may bring a suit against the pawner upon the debtor promise. First thing, sue him in the court of law. Or second one, sell the thing which is pledged after giving a notice to him. After giving a notice to him. So tell him that I am selling this gold and then sell. First option, to him and exercise the lien. Okay, retain the goods. To him, exercise the lien. Tell him, I will release only once you pay. That is one way. Second one, sell. So directly I can sell. Yes, you can sell. Okay, by giving a reasonable notice. Tell him, if you don't pay within next 10 days, I will sell. Like that, you can give a warning and sell. But question will arise, sir, I have taken 1 lakh loan. For that, I have taken 1 lakh worth of jewelry at that time. But that 1 lakh jewelry now became 1.5 lakh. Or that can also become 70,000 by reduction in value. If the proceeds of such sale are less than amount due, okay, or the promise, the partner is still liable to pay the balance. Okay? If the proceeds of such a sale are less than amount due in respect of the debt or promise, the partner is still able to pay the balance. Okay. So I sold, I got 70,000, but loan taken was only 30,000. Balance 30,000 also you should pay. If the proceeds are greater than amount, then Pani shall pay over the surplus to the partner. I sold, I got 1 lakh 30,000 for 1 lakh loan. 30,000 you have to pay to him, 1 lakh you can retain with you. Are all rights of the Pani. Now transfer or rights of the partner. What is this? Right to redeem. Right to redeem. What do you mean right to redeem? Redeem means get back. Whenever I paid the amount, means performance is over. Then you have a right to redeem. If the time stipulated for the payment of debt or performance of promise or the pledge is made, the partner makes a default in the payment of debt or promise that he may redeem the goods pledged at any subsequent time. Okay? Goods at any subsequent time. So these are all the right to redeem. Right to redeem. If the time stipulated in the payment of debt or performance of promise or the pledge is made and the partner makes a default in payment of debt, okay, at the stipulated time, he may redeem the goods pledged at any subsequent time before the actual sale of them, but he must in the case pay any expenses that have arisen. Redemption means recover the goods by making the payment of debt and performance of promise. Means what? Pay them and then take it back, or else Pani will not give you your goods. Duty of the Pani means the person who is taking the goods are giving the loan. Duties. Take reasonable care of the goods, already covered in bailment. Don't make unauthorized use, already covered in bailment. Return the goods when the debt is repaid, just now we read. Don't mix the goods. Don't do anything inconsistent. Accretions, if any, you should return back. All these things we have already discussed or not, everyone. Bailment, we already discussed those points or not. Same. Duties of the partner. Partner duties. Partner means the person who taken the loan. Liable to pay the debt. Okay. Next. Any extraordinary expenses incurred, you should compensate. Disclose all the faults, known faults and unknown faults. Okay, next, if there is any bad title of partner for the goods bail, you should pay compensation also, indemnify the pani. Okay, next, just now we read now, I sold. You have taken 1 lakh loan, 70,000 I am getting, balance 30 you should pay. If pani sells the goods due to default, partner must pay the balance deficit. That's it. Okay. Remaining just to give a reading and leave. Next one, distinction between bailment and pledge. Meaning, Transfer of goods by one person and the person for a specific purpose. Here, specific purpose is the security for repayment of debt. Parties. Here, two persons, bailor, bailee. Person transferring is the bailor, to whom it is transferred is the bailee. Here, two people. Person who delivers the goods as a security is paner. Whose security it is given is a pani. Purpose. Purpose. Any purpose it can be. Safe custody, repairs, etc. Anything. But here the purpose is security for payment of debt or performance of a promise. Consideration. Maybe with or without. This is always having a consideration. Debt a consideration. Right to sell the goods. Bailee has no right to sell the goods even if the charges of the bailment are not paid. The bailee's rights are limited to suing the bailor for his use or exercise the lien on the goods. That's it. He cannot sell. But here he has a right to sell. Right to use the goods only for the specific purpose. Here he cannot use that. This completed one very important area and the big area in our syllabus called as a contract of bailment and pledge. Completed all the main concepts in this particular chapter, which are very important for the exam. I tried to cover it in detail, not just like reading and going. Hopefully everyone in the class, did you understand the entire concept clearly? Clear? Very good. Yeah, thank you.